Doesn't that feel good? Welcome back, entrepreneurs. I am your host, Jason Setzer, with the Local Business Podcast. We're talking everything to do with entrepreneurship by sharing stories of success, failure, and everything in between. That sounds like something that you're into. Hang out and enjoy the show. Welcome back to Local Business. In studio with us today, the owners of Bella Donna. You want to give everybody the elevator pitch, who you are, what you do, and who you do it to.
Oh, goodness.
Public.
We are a full-service salon and spa located in Garden Ridge, Bracken area, next door to the iconic Grumpy's Mexican Cafe. Have you ever been there?
Yes.
So you know where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
It's very quaint, kind of tucked away. It's a farm road, so there's not a whole lot of developed businesses out there. So it's really nice to be out there and bring traffic into the area. We do everything from hair, skin, nails and body, massage, mani-pedis, facials, laminations, you name it, everything. Anything you can think of, we do it.
I was looking at your website, and I noticed y'all have a lot of technicians. Would you call them technicians? What do you call them?
I call them professionals.
Professionals.
Yes.
Okay. What does everybody do the same thing, or do they all have their own specialties?
Everybody has a specialty, which is also very nice because a lot of times you can go into these beauty spas, salons, and some of the professionals do it all. So I really like having professionals that specialize in something. That means that they're very good at it.
How did y'all get started?
I've been...
Well, first of all, so husband and wife, is that right?
Yes.
Correct.
Y'all started this together, or did you start it and then you joined, or how did all this start?
She started it. I just joined.
I got my license in high school to become a cosmetologist at Judson. That was 20 years ago, 2003. Okay. And so I've done hair since then. And I have a passion for hair. There's other things that, people have said, you want to try this? No, I really love doing hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but
any particular thing, like a style, or is just any?
I prefer working with women, but I also love providing services to families. I love being a family salon. The wife is usually the first to come, ordinarily, not always. But and then they'll bring the husbands or the children, or and I really like that. I like being a family salon.
So how did you get started working with your wife?
COVID happened, and a lot of things fell into place with both of us, and timing with CARES Act to help me, get a little bit of income to help launch this thing and get started.
So when did y'all launch?
We started renovating the building in October of 2020.
Oh.
And we opened in April of 2021. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And this is y'all's first entrepreneurial endeavor.
Well, as a hairdresser, I started working at Supercuts. My grandma's a hairdresser. My aunt's a hairdresser. So my aunt was the one that encouraged me to do this. And she said that college wasn't for everybody. So
Amen. That's very true.
In high school, she told me, I really think you should sign up for the program. And so afterwards, she kind of was my mentor and told me where to work for the education, because you really need it. I mean, you don't just finish school, get a license, and start cutting hair. You have to have a foundation for it all. She pointed me in the right directions, and I kind of took the reins after Supercuts. I worked at Supercuts in high school, and I decided that I wanted to go to more fashion-forward salons. Mm-hmm. I went to Toni and Guy, and I did that for a little while. And after that...
What's Toni and Guy? Is it a school?
It's a salon.
Okay.
You continue your education through your time there. So I did that, and then for a very short period of time, I joined the military. Found out I was pregnant and basic, so I didn't get to stay. So I had to
Probably a good thing.
I had to come home, and then I started up again with the Regis Salon, became part of management, and then opened my own suite at Salons by JC. Wow. So I was 21 years old, and that's when I started my entrepreneurship.
Sure.
So just a little 10 by 10 room, just me and my little business, and I did that for 16, 17 years until we opened the salon together.
Nice. So you had somewhat of a clientele already whenever you decided to open up the salon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's good, right? So I mean, that's that's a big undertaking, I think, to start from scratch. So and that's what I was thinking, right? So I was like, oh my God, you started in October of 2020. Wow. So
Yeah, no.
you started your business sooner than that. You just started the salon here in October.
Correct.
Nice.
And she didn't move too far, and her clientele was more than willing to follow.
You know, every industry is different, right? But I mean, if you do good work, right, no matter what that work is, you know, I mean, if you're not like hours out of the way, you know what I mean, people will come to you.
You'd be surprised.
Really? You think?
Yes. I feel like there's so many facets to retaining customers, and part of it is the experience. People look for something in everywhere that they're going, and that's what makes them stick with you.
That's fair. I'll go along with that too. Do you feel like you have any competition?
I feel like this is a pretty big city, you know, and there's enough for all of us. And our client base, they see something in us, and that is why they stay with us. So we want to keep those customers that feel that connection. You don't want the ones that don't feel like they belong there, you know? So in short, no.
Okay.
I don't feel like I have competition. The only person I'm competing with is myself.
Perfect.
One thing that Christina shared with a lot is that she wants to be known for helping build other people up. Professionals coming into the salon, some with no experience or haven't touched hair in 20 years. She helps teach them and show them everything to make sure that they are successful.
Not just from hair theory, everything. Because I've been an entrepreneur for so long. So I'm teaching these professionals, not always just women, but mostly, to be entrepreneurs so that they can leave and spread their wings.
So do you have the expectation when you hire somebody that they're going to leave?
Yes.
Do you set that
I
expectation?
want that for them.
Do you set that expectation with them?
I would say that we talk about their goals
Nice.
and their aspirations and, you know, what it is that they want out of this career. Is it a career? Is this just a job? You know, we figure that all out together.
Very nice. I think that's awesome that you're sitting down with these with your professionals before you hire them or you set any kind of agreement. Are your employees or are they W-9?
That's a really great question. We consider our business a hybrid business. So we do have contractors and we also have employees. So I've got a couple of renters and then I do employ a few people.
Nice. So barbershops, I think that's a really common thing, right? You rent a chair.
So contractors, they can basically offer whatever services that they want. And the same for my employees. But technically speaking, having employees gives you a little bit more control over the areas that they're operating in. So I make it, you know, a rule for myself that I don't want to make any of my professionals do something that they're not confident in doing because it's not fair to them or the customer experience.
Absolutely.
So I don't want my professionals thinking that they have to do services that they are just not comfortable with. But as an owner and having employees, you do have that authority.
Yeah.
To say like, I really want you to do this and I need somebody to do this. So if you're not comfortable or interested, I'm going to have to find somebody that will.
So how did you come up with the name?
I was 21 at the time and I was working at I was helping my aunt. I was transitioning from a corporate salon into suite rental and she used her initials and her initials just kind of like rolled off the tongue, SMS, and mine was CMG. And I was like, this doesn't sound good. I don't want to do that. So I was looking for a name that, I don't know, just ended up like sounding more, what's the word I'm thinking of or looking for? Not elegant, maybe elegant, but
sounds good on the tongue.
Exactly.
It rolls off the tongue easy.
So Bella Donna it means beautiful woman. So
Elegant
in Italian.
bold.
Bella Donna means
beautiful woman.
Is it in
Italian?
What? Italian.
Yes.
Okay.
So also there's a movie called Practical Magic. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a great movie. It's Nicole Kidman. Oh my gosh, Sandra Bullock, and who else is in it? I can't even remember. Anyway, one of them had a man that they were dating. This is not a great part of the name at all, but I mean, women love it. They used it. Belladonna is also nightshade. It's a plant and it's poisonous. and they killed a lover with this plant.
Bella Donna, it means beautiful woman in Italian, and it is also
A plant.
A deadly plant.
A deadly plant. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you're skirting the line there.
I know.
Right?
So, but it's
Come
also
get your haircut.
it's also been used for
No
like
plants.
cosmetic stuff for years. So I mean, I think that they put it in cosmetic products as well.
They put in this deadly plant into some cosmetics.
You're not supposed to ingest it. That's it. Period.
That's why it says
Period.
don't put in your eyes or your mouth.
Yes,
Well, I mean, to be fair, everything says that.
that's true.
Except for
you
eye
should
drops.
you should follow the rules. Always follow the rules,
Just in case, yeah.
just in case.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's fun. So, okay, marketing. How do you market your business?
We're both very social people, and we've kind of managed to skirt around not having to pay for that service.
Nice.
A lot of people do. I just don't really know if I believe in paying for it.
Where would you say the lion's share of your business comes from? Is it word of mouth, or is it Facebook? Is it or social media, or is it web?
I would say the majority of our customer base, our support comes from our community, and building relationships with people in your community is the most important for me in business.
How do you manage running a salon and also giving back? And also, do you have kids?
We have 6 children.
That's a full-time job.
Thank you.
So, how do you manage your time?
It's not easy. We still haven't figured that out yet. I mean, we haven't set healthy boundaries for ourselves when it comes to running the business, but I don't think that you can in the first few years.
That's two things. One, that's really elegantly put. Healthy boundaries for yourself. Two, but you're not in the beginning. Your beginning was when you were 21.
Yes.
So I mean, granted, I know that you've taken on a lot in a couple of years, and we're gonna get into that. But so so what do you do about that?
My husband has taken on the role of being a stay-at-home father to help in any way possible and support like the journey that we've decided to take together.
Hats off to you, man.
I can probably answer
You got
this
6
question.
kids at home. real quick, what are their ages? What are their ages and their names?
2, 4, 7, 11, 14, 16. Mila, Trevor, Logan, Natalie, Cecilia, Jacob.
In the order from youngest to oldest?
Yes.
Jacob's your oldest?
Yes.
Is he driving?
God, no.
I wish.
Yeah.
Why not? He's 16, right?
I'm not a helicopter mother, but I tried my hardest since the day each of my children were born to instill a healthy level of fear in them all.
Okay.
So I try to scare the shit out of all of them. Like, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. Don't do this. Like, driving's dangerous. Everything's dangerous. Some of them are scared and some are not. Like, we have some that don't care. And then my son is like, I trust you, Mom. Driving is dangerous. You're right. It's a very big responsibility. You hold your own life in your hands and other people's. It's a scary thing for me. No, he doesn't drive. No.
But like our 5-year-old, he probably has the confidence to go and drive right now. If he was big enough, he would do it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting dynamic.
Trevor, he's very bold and confident. Extremely.
He's wild.
I cut you off, and I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I was asking about your kids. What you were going to say?
About the schedule.
Yep.
How do we manage that schedule?
She doesn't. He does.
Got to get all the kids up for school, drop half of them off, come back, pick up the other remaining children and my wife, get her to work on time, get the kids to school, make sure all those lunches are ready and in the backpacks. And
We made the mistake of sending the younger kids to a daycare where lunches are required, and then our 7-year-old is on the spectrum, so he has to have a homemade lunch every day.
Back to marketing. You said that you don't, y'all are fortunate enough, you all kind of skirted around the pay for marketing, but you still market your business.
Facebook, social media.
Social media?
And then human interaction, like
Well, community, right? So
community.
like you said.
My husband will go to Home Depot and pick up clients in the
Really?
the light aisle.
doesn't matter where I'm at. If
Always talking about it.
If I'm just doing my normal thing and I look and notice somebody with makeup or
hair.
eyebrows or hair or anything at all, I'll be like, hey, did you know my wife owns a salon and
Our target
we can
audience.
do all these services that you have on your body right now?
The first thing that I thought of whenever I'm painting a picture in my head, you're at Lowe's and you see a woman that maybe her makeup isn't on point and you started to approach her, the first thing I'm thinking is,
this is not how it goes. This is not.
No,
it's not.
absolutely. Like the first thing I'll notice is that, hey, what you have in your hand, I know that's the wrong product that you're looking at. Can I help you? And then I'll help them with like some building thing that they're working on.
One.
And then I have an open door. So then I'll slide them the business card and say, hey, come check my wife out. You'll fall in love. You'll find your new home.
He's done as well. I say that Home Depot because I have a really amazing client that came in because of him at the Home Depot, being willing to help her reach something that was higher than she could reach.
wow.
I think it was electrical in that one, but
Yeah, I think so.
a light switch.
Yeah. That's why I said light.
Well,
but
so tell me about that. How did that go down?
it turns out that I hope you can probably put this in. She's former Mrs. Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, very smart. She's a triple threat, brains, beauty, all of it.
What's the third one? Brains, beauty,
I don't know what the third one is.
triple threat. I've never heard of
Brains, talent. I don't know. She's artistic or something. I don't know. She's amazing.
Whatever that triple threat is, she's got it.
I'm just like everything about her. I'm just impressed with. Like she redid her own home office by herself. I'm sure with the help of her children. But
I was really impressed because when I was at Home Depot helping her with the product that she was looking for, then told her like how to fix it, and she was confident. She was like, "Absolutely, I'm gonna go home and fix this." And every time she comes in, she'll show me pictures. She'll be like, "You're gonna be so proud of me," and
That's
she shows
awesome.
me pictures of like
he's
the
there
wall that she
often.
redid or the lights and electrical stuff, and she doesn't need a man. She's got
she
she's got
has
skill.
one.
Yeah.
Right, she has
She has,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
She didn't need my help.
Yeah. I'm thinking about how awesome that is that, you're at Lowe's with Miss Wyoming and, she's not taking it as this dude's being a creeper.
And
You're
then
not at
she
all.
comes in
Yeah,
for
that's-
services.
That's killer.
And that's
awesome.
something else I want to touch on is that people that live within your community are looking for those businesses that they can support and go out and say like, this is my place. I love it. Like I just feel so welcomed here. And that's what our clients do. That is my goal. I honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but I've never really been to a spa. My aunt took me once to the JW Marriott years ago. We all went for Mother's Day. So I've never really experienced like the salon, the spa atmosphere. So I don't know what it is that they're looking for, to be honest. I know about salons all day, every day, but a spa, not really. So I've had clients come in that do go to spas. They get facials. This is a regular thing for them. They are big proponents for self-care. Like it's an important thing to people. I had no idea. I have 6 kids. So she tells me I've been to lots of other salons or spas, and not just this one person, but this one person in particular. And she says, I feel most comfortable here. Like it's, you don't, the professionals aren't pretentious. Like everybody's very down to earth and welcoming. And that is what we go for. That's my goal.
Is that a common problem in salons?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I worked in a 10 by 10 suite for, 15 years by myself. So when you talk about the economic climate, the problems businesses are facing, I literally lived under a rock. Now that I'm responsible for other people's careers, it's different. It's a lot different.
How big of a space do you have now?
I think it's 25 to 3,000.
So, well, and that's kind of where I'm going with this. You went from a 10 by 10.
Yes.
That's a big jump.
Yes.
How is your business structured? Is it an LLC?
It's an LLC. Yeah.
So did you get how did you do that? Did you do that with a lawyer? Did you go to LegalZoom, or how did you form that?
So my mom worked for this local chef in Almost Park. But before he started there was a restaurant in Alamo Heights down the street off of like Austin Highway and Broadway. It's going to drive me crazy thinking of the name. So he had a partnership at this restaurant and it went south. People wanted to sell out of this partnership and he ended up getting out and he started this restaurant in a tiny little hole in the wall place. I mean, it's probably 3 of these rooms, tiny, and not including the kitchen. Excuse me. That was just the cafe area. He's a French man. So he was serving authentic French cuisines. So she goes and starts this restaurant with him. I mean, it's his restaurant.
Right.
She's the bookkeeper. And it grows and it becomes this like really great, amazing French restaurant, Bistro Vatel. Next door was a washateria, and as the restaurant grew, the washateria owners would be, they were pretty, what's the word? Salty at the other customers for parking in their
spot. Yeah.
Yes. So,
There's a lot of that going on here at our place.
So they're calling the police. Cars are getting towed all the time. And I mean, my mom worked here for about 15 years. And
the restaurant customers, cars are getting towed?
The washateria is calling police or, like, hey, this is our washateria. They're parking in front of it and we need the cars towed because these are our spots. Well, the washateria ends up going out of business. And
probably because they didn't have any parking.
Probably because they never had parking. So, and I mean, I don't know. Tiny little place. Anyway, the owner of the French restaurant ends up getting this spot, and he's going to open an Italian restaurant, and they named it Ciao Lavanderia, which means goodbye washateria. So isn't that great?
That is.
It's amazing. So probably that's what sparked my love for like the Italian language.
Sure.
And was also an inspiration for Bella Donna because, I'm around these, foreign people. I spent a lot of time in that kitchen with my mom as a teenager and learned so much from her as far as business goes.
Nice.
So when it came time to establish licensing for the business, I just called my mom. That's
Very nice.
Yeah. So she's helped me with that. And then I have an aunt that works for, I think it's an enrolled agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a cousin that works for a tax attorney. So I just get my advice from...
Well, you have a very diverse family there. That's good.
Yeah.
Those are good people to...
That's why we don't advertise. She's got word of mouth networking down.
We don't need to do it.
Very nice. Yeah. A lot of people get on high center whenever they start their business. You know what I mean? I asked you how you structured your business because I've talked with several people, they're like, well, should I be an S?
General.
They've got all these different questions about structuring your business. And I'm like, I get it. But listen, your number one goal right now is to make money. You got to work on that. You know what I mean? And then, yes, the tax man cometh and there's lots of strategies and there's lots of things. But the first thing you got to do is make money. You know what I mean? So like they would stop themselves dead in the tracks before, getting a DBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they're just like, just
too many questions.
Right.
Just go to work.
Dude, go to work. There's a very limited amount of information each individual has. Let me backtrack a little bit here to your typical. Who is your typical client? Who's your typical customer that walks in the door?
Local community women.
Okay.
That would be, and then they come in for anywhere from haircuts to permanent cosmetics, massage.
What's a permanent cosmetic?
That's where they tattoo your makeup on.
Okay. Like the only thing I know is the eyeliner. So, but there's obviously a lot more than
that. Lips, brows, liner, and believe it or not, some women like freckles. They get freckles tattooed on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a commitment, man.
I know, it is.
I mean, have you been putting that same freckle on you for a couple of years now? And you just really like it and you want to get it permanent? Or...
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I would say...
So y'all do permanent... Y'all got a tattoo
license,
shop.
Yeah, we have a tattoo license. And I've told him, maybe you should just start tattooing here or something.
Wow.
Yeah, we got our inspection by the health department for the tattoo license because it's the same.
Is it from the state or is it from the city?
It's from the city.
Dealing with local municipalities on some things is certainly very frustrating.
Where we exist, it's kind of, I call it the lawless land because we're in
the Wild West.
Yes, it's an ETJ, which is an extraterritorial jurisdiction for your viewers that don't know or your listeners. So it hasn't been formally adopted by anybody. So, I mean, I think right now it's currently part of Bracken, but we're not sure if Comal takes authority or Bear or San Antonio or Garden. We don't know. So when it comes to all this licensing stuff, it becomes very complicated in this little nook.
ETJ.
Yeah.
It takes a while because everyone tells you, nope, you have to call them. Mm-hmm. And, it takes a while to figure out where to get all your licensing, where to get everything set up.
I'm pretty fortunate. All of my businesses have not been anything nowhere near like this. I've done, the biggest run-in that I had was I put a sign next year to the building here, and then, at the time, Selma says, "Hey, man, you can't have that sign there." That's the biggest run-in that I had.
We don't have run-ins because nobody cares.
So then why do you get the license?
Well, we have to have those licenses, but it's
Well, who checks them?
The state. So Texas Department of Licensing comes out and the health department comes out. So you want to have them.
Yeah, I mean, you want to follow the rules.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only reason is because I don't want anybody shutting me down later. You know what I mean? You go through all the effort to get a business developed.
And for what? To get a fine for not having this $25 license or $50, whatever. You know, the tattoo license is much more expensive than that. But they came out and inspected our facility, and they were very impressed.
Immaculate.
With it. Yeah.
Nice.
Immaculate.
The health and then the inspection. So that was local. What was from the state again?
The Texas Department of Licensing regulations is for the beauty salon itself.
Okay.
So they will have inspectors that come out to make sure that you're up to code with all of the Texas laws. They will fine you for certain infractions.
Sure. Yeah.
I've never had a fine. I should knock on wood. Yeah.
Well, I don't even think that's something that you probably need to knock on wood about. You're probably pretty proud of the ship that you run. So
yeah,
that's
definitely
probably not even it's probably a non-issue.
Initially, when onboarding employees, you do let them know, like, I'm not getting a fine for you. I like you, but I'm not getting a fine for you. Take out your trash, wipe your station, please. You know, these are very important things, and it's not a lot to ask. It's
sure.
So,
who owns the equipment inside your building?
We do.
So, your contractors, they rent out a space?
Yes.
Do they rent out your equipment?
Not well. So I guess
some of them, like the estheticians.
The estheticians, yes, they're contracted, but a lot of the stuff is provided for them. So it's like the tables are there, the beds, the spa beds, all of the furniture that they would need. But if there's any product that they need to use, they bring that. So
gotcha.
So we do let the private suites decorate as they see fit for their space, but the open area, I want it to all just
uniform.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. The services that you provide, are the prices generated by what you feel or market or?
I would say traditionally in our industry, most professionals charge for their time.
Okay.
To keep things simple, that's how we do it. So depending on how long the service takes us to do is what we charge. And the longer that you've been in the industry, you charge more for your time.
For your contractors, do you just take a percentage of that, or?
Some will pay rent, and then the others do pay a commission. We pay them a commission.
Okay. Here's the thing: when somebody tells me, "Hey, I charge this much an hour," that's just part of the formula to me, because I don't know. Do you work fast? Do you work slow? Are you efficient? Are you not efficient? So
you get what you pay for. I mean, we have clients that are new that will call and they're curious about the price.
Okay.
And they'll even be speaking with me wanting to come in for the first time and get like 2 different services done. And I'll go through the system and let them know how much the price is for Christina, master stylist. And they're like, well, for my first time trying it out, is there anything a little bit cheaper? So I'll switch it to like emerging artists, so that way they can get the experience, come in. And
man, that's tough. That's
a tough
thing.
So let me just say this. Okay, so like for a haircut, it typically would take me about 45 minutes to an hour to do a haircut, right? So I charge $75 for shampoo, cut, and style, and then an emerging artist would charge $60.
Okay.
So it might take them a little bit longer, but their price is $60 for that.
Do you get a lot of price shopping from your clients?
So they're asking about price out of curiosity, not because it's their deciding factor.
That's nice. If the majority of your clients come to you as referrals, is that accurate to say?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that already precedes price, I would think.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, they just want to know what to prepare for.
So, how long were you in business before you started to get that reputation?
It's hard to say, because I guess,
she's had it for at least 10 years. I mean, since I've met her, she's had a reputation where clients will literally tell her, hey, I'm flying in. Do you have an appointment? Like, do you have any time? Because I want my hair done again. They trust her and they come back.
That's why I said miles. I don't know, man. People will come and see you if they can't find it anywhere else. So I have a client that recently moved to Colorado, and she's told me, like, when I come back, please, can you squeeze me in? I know it's not a lot of time, like, because I booked out, well in advance on Saturdays especially. So, I mean, I'm booked out through May for Saturdays.
Just for reference, today is March 20th.
Yes.
Good Lord.
One thing is that the professionals that are, we're trying to build, hearing the clients say, like, I know that you're in good hands because Christina's taught them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them teach themselves, of course, right? Like all of our stylists are very talented in different ways, and they've educated themselves independently aside from me, but we do help guide them as well. So having us there by their side, directing them and knowing that they don't have to have this level of fear that I instilled in my children. I don't do that to the employees. I want them to be confident. I want them to know that they can do these things with or without my help, but I'm always there just in case.
Do you run a special every month?
We try to.
How far in advance do you think of your specials?
Like the day before.
The 31st or the 30th,
Yes.
depending on how many days are in the month.
I was gonna say daily. She's always just working.
We're constantly thinking of ideas.
I mean, some of it makes sense if it's seasonal, right? I mean, you're not going to do something on the bikini line if it's February.
Winter, right? Exactly.
When we have the waxer, she's in room 4.
Yes.
That's her specialty.
She specializes in Brazilian. So if you're brave enough, she'd be happy to take you as a client.
What's the name of that? The Beauty Cove.
The Beauty Cove.
The Beauty Cove.
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
That's the name. She's a contractor. She's a tenant. So yeah, she's in Suite 4.
I want to make sure I'm remembering this right. A Brazilian is when they rip the hair out.
So this is where things can get confusing. Get confusing.
It's not a shave.
There's 2 Brazilians.
Because the Brazilian blowout
is for the hair to make it
and
straight.
then
but
the Brazilian wax.
Yeah, that's the bikini line. That's where they rip it out.
Rip it off.
That's everything. It's everything.
Everything.
It's everything.
Okay, you're pointing to your hip area and your lower vicinities.
Everything down there.
It's the front
back.
and the back. Everywhere.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Inside. Everywhere.
Wow. For the worst case, the worst example I can think of, if you're going to go get a pedicure, that's your feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wash your feet before you go in.
What do you call it? I don't get grossed out to touch a unwashed hair. Like we see it all the time, but it's for the best results. You want to come in with clean hair.
Oh, well, there you go. That's marketing right there.
Yeah.
For the best results, wash your shit.
Exactly.
So come in, just come in natural and washed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the best results.
For the best results, yes.
So how come it seems like, and I'm noticing this more in my day and age, but it seems like all the gray hairs are kinky and like.
That's why we market the Brazilian blowout.
Gray's back. Like a lot of women are coming in for that gray transition.
God,
they want that. They want the gray
That's
looking.
my number one service.
Really?
Where it grows out looking good. So like women that have gray hair, they'll have beautiful hair color, and all of a sudden there's like a gray patch, and they'll come in and it's you could see the hair color growing out.
Mm-hmm.
She'll do this transition to where she's dyeing like all of that hair that's gray right there, and then transition it to where it looks blended in and looks natural, like it grew that way.
Because I think
and it grows out, looking easier to maintain.
We are a little more than halfway through. I always play a game here in the middle. We call it the lightning round. I am going to ask. Normally, I ask somebody 5 questions, but since there's 2 of you, I'm going to ask each of you 3 questions. They have absolutely nothing to do with anything. They're random. You answer them however you want to answer them.
This is fun.
And here we go. I'll start with you, Garrett. If you had a personal robot, which task would you have them perform the most?
Probably laundry. It has to be.
Your friends gave you a nickname that starts with the letter B. What is it?
Bella.
All right, Garrett, what animal would you choose if you could transform into one for a day?
I guess something flying.
Yeah.
Like
A
bald
lot of
eagle.
people want to fly, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, which movie would you like to see unlimited sequels of?
Sing.
Sing?
Yeah.
Well, all right. What instructional YouTube video would you be famous for?
How to not communicate with your wife.
That's a good one.
Okay, last question. If you could be anybody's twin, who would you choose?
Snoop Dogg.
For shizzle.
That'd be pretty cool if that was your twin.
Coming off of the lightning round, I got some questions. What is the number one thing you wish you knew before you started Bella Donna? And real quick, is it always? No. You just became Bella Donna during the salon. What was your DBA when you were 21?
Bella Donna, and then now it's Bella Donna and Company.
Oh, okay. So, what's the one thing you wish you knew before you started?
Don't be afraid to make decisions that are best for your business.
Mm.
and not worrying about anything other than the decisions that are best for your business.
At the end of the day, right? I mean, your business has to flourish. Otherwise.
I don't know if you knew this, but women have a lot of feelings.
Really?
And
More than two?
More than two. I spend most of my day concerned about all of the feelings that people have. And I wish that I wasn't like that. I wish that I do consider myself to be an assertive communicator. So I do take into consideration people's feelings while considering my own. It's not always the easiest way to run a business.
No, not at all. When it comes down to what's good for your business, it's not, it's business.
It's business.
It has to be. You have to make, it's a tough call, but you have to make those business decisions because it's difficult, but people can and will do what's best for them. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if it puts you out in the street to where you don't have doors to open. That's why you have to make the decisions that keep your doors open, that provide that place for people to come into to feel like home.
That keeps that consistent environment experience. Because to me, that's what it's all about. Ultimately, the experience that people have when they come in through our doors.
Have you had a bad client? It
sounds crazy, but we have the power to change those situations, you know? I'm a firm believer in influencing the energy and not returning it, you know? So like if someone's, you know, getting all Karen on you, like you don't get Karen back.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
There's definitely a choice. You know what I mean? Yeah. And negative energy on negative energy does not provide positive energy.
No.
It never does.
Yeah, that's like one of the quotes in the break room is influence energy. Don't
return it.
Don't return it.
You got to influence.
I've never heard of it put that way before.
Yeah.
That's but it's, I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
So I won't use her name as much as I'd love to.
Right. Can't do it.
We had a client come in. And I don't think she'll ever watch or listen to this podcast. She came into the business a few days later, and she was in tears because she just did not receive the experience that she thought she was going to coming through our doors. And she let me know that the professional didn't wash her hair.
I remember.
And I was very disappointed because it's like one of the first steps in our process is to clean the hair when you're doing a haircut. So this professional did ask me on this day, like, should I wash her first? And I thought that's an odd question. Yeah, you should. That's what we do. But I guess this client had, more fine hair. So she wanted to like take a different approach. And so since the professional asked me that, I thought she must have forgot to wash the lady's hair, and I'm embarrassed.
So 2 days later when she called inquiring, like...
I'm embarrassed. I can't believe this happened. So I get in touch with the professional, and I said, hey, your client from the other day called and said you didn't wash her hair. And she was like, I promise you, I did. I promise. Just, go back and look at the security cameras. And so I did, and she did wash her hair. So I had to call the client back and say...
Your hair was washed.
This is awkward.
I said, this is very uncomfortable for both of us now, because I'm calling to let you know that I can't refund you your money because your hair was washed and, you received the service that you paid for. And so she was crying again. The client did come back.
She apologized and came back.
She did come back. But
so
yeah.
What was the?
There was a friend of hers had referred her, and gosh.
But she was crying because she thought she didn't get her hair washed, and then you told her that she did get her hair washed, and then everything was okay?
No. No.
For the moment, I think.
Yeah. I think it was more of like the stylist said, I think it was sticker shock. I'm not even sure that she paid for the haircut. I think a relative got her a gift card or something like that. And she bought product. It was just a very, very interesting situation. So she just forgot.
I forget things, but that'd be hard to forget.
Do you know Affinity Family Care?
Yeah.
You know Amanda?
I don't know her. I know of Affinity.
Okay.
I've never been.
She was like, because she was giving away a bunch of stuff.
I see.
And she was like, there's a gift card in there for massage at Bella Donna.
We give gift cards a lot to Veterans Memorial. My high school cosmetology teacher is now teaching cosmetology at Veterans Memorial. And
I brought one for you.
All right. Look at that.
You can give that to Amanda.
Perfect.
Because I told her I was going to bring her one.
Got it.
Well,
Yeah.
I brought her one too.
Okay, cool. So then you give that to your lovely girlfriend.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Make it out.
And then you're amazing.
Yes.
I was
sir.
rushing out and
Thank you.
I made those like a month ago, and I knew that they were for a purpose and they were for someone. And then this morning they were in the drawer, and I was like, you know what? I'm never going to give them to anybody if I don't take them. So I put them in my pocket, and I knew that today I would give
This
them to
is the
someone.
day.
Today is the day.
I was
Nice.
going to send her
There it
one
was.
electronically because I told her I'd bring her one.
No, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Back to my little list here. What is the biggest mistake you made in your business? What's the biggest number one mistake?
Having a partner. Never. This is what I've been told by a very, very wise woman in our community. Never have a business partner if you can avoid it. Never.
From my experience and from what I've seen, a lot of partnerships that fail are because there's no clear establishment of who's going to do what. You know what I mean? And then also, so many times they cross into each other's lane. You know what I mean? And then that causes friction, and it just ultimately comes apart, you know?
Obviously, it's a marriage. It's a business marriage. And so you're working on things in your personal life. Like I have a marriage at home and I have a marriage at work. It's a lot of work.
Yes,
It's a lot of work. So for me personally, it's work that I don't want to do.
Okay, so y'all opened in April of 21. When did the partnership dissolve?
In August. So September 1st, we established the new LLC. So
Of 21?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you ever got?
Build 4 feet at a time.
Build
Oh.
4 feet at a time.
yeah, our landlord told us that. So we established the business and then kind of had to reestablish the business in a very short period of time. Building a business twice in 1 year is it's hard. So our landlord said, you do it 4 feet at a time.
Why 4 feet?
Instead
Not
of not
necess-
getting it done and seeing too big of a task that you won't accomplish, don't stop working on it. Don't stop building on your dream, even if you can only do it 4 feet at a time.
What is your favorite tool for running your business, or that helps you with your business?
I love Canva.
Right?
I love
She uses
Canva.
that
Okay.
to make so many designs
Very
for
nice.
marketing.
Yeah.
and-
Do you use Canva?
Yes, it's in our arsenal. We have quite a few things.
I would say it should be at the top. I'm just kidding.
No.
It's Canva is for people that don't illustrate. Like I'm not an illustrator. I get Adobe. It's just it's a foreign language for me.
I have all the Adobe products, so I pay that monthly fee
Yeah.
for all of them. We use Illustrator quite a bit.
Yeah. So
But Canva's your number one, huh?
oh yeah, it's cheaper than paying somebody to market for me.
True.
I can do it myself.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What is your idea of resting and recuperating? How do you reset?
Oh God.
With 6 kids, I'm going to say this is probably a pipe dream, but
Right?
let's just pretend for a minute.
Coffee.
A day of rest for me is just that resting.
Far and few between, I'd imagine.
I
Yeah.
stand up all day, and I don't know how other people do it. I think a lot of people in our industry don't work a full 5 days. A lot of us are very part-time because it is hard on your body.
Yeah. What's your prediction for the industry over the next 20 years?
So there's already robots that can give you your nails, complete them in 10 minutes. And I haven't looked into how much that robot is, but I'm probably to imagine in the future we have one nail tech that's a robot. And
Okay, so I saw a social media post not too long ago, and it was a guy looking for a new stylist, and he said one that just will skip the small talk. I just want a haircut. Wow. And that was the post on our
Might have been my brother.
I'm going to have to go look. And I respected it. And I thought to myself, I am not the stylist for you because I don't even consider myself a hairdresser. I consider myself an entertainer, not master stylist. I'm like master entertainer because while you're there, I want you to feel attended to.
we want you to have a wow experience that's not just the hair.
Yeah.
It's the environment, the conversation. We do offer snacks and drinks and beverages and coffees. And
What kind of beverages?
we have a full little mini fridge, just all the sodas.
We've got some
juices.
wines and some beers.
There we go.
Yeah,
Now
we
we're
got-
talking.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we have a
But
little.
surprisingly, most people don't ask for that. It's
We'll
very
offer it.
Yeah.
Our wine's usually sitting there a long
I
time.
had an
It's
experience
rare.
years ago because I was at the Salons by JC at the Forum, and Specs is right next door. So I could just run over to Specs and get a bottle of wine for a client. And I did that one time, and she got schnockered. Afterwards, she was like, I got to go get my kid from daycare. And I was like,
Oh, God.
I'm not doing this
Right.
again. So for a very long time, I had a no alcohol policy. Like
Sure.
I wasn't going to provide it for you. If
Yeah.
you brought it in your flask or whatever, that's your business. But I don't want to be responsible for someone going picking up their kid from daycare after the salon. And,
Plowed.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Get an Uber to go pick your kid
Yeah,
up.
no kidding. It's very rare that, and usually it's my family.
Yeah.
They're
Usually,
like, can you bring me some wine?
or if somebody's coming in for a very late service.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, how late are you open?
Otherwise-
So we are technically by appointment only.
Okay.
I'm often there till 7 or 8.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
What's your definition of success for Bella Donna?
To create other industry leaders, like to see them go, like, because knowing that we've had several people come in fresh out of school or that haven't been in the industry for a while, or they've had, 1 or 2 years experience, but teaching them how to be an entrepreneur, how to run a business, how to market themselves, how to polish their technique, how to finesse your customer, let them know that you are a professional, be confident in yourself. And we've been able to do that over and over and over again.
What's the biggest goal for your company? What's the biggest goal for Bella Donna? Franchise?
Definitely like a second location, maybe at the Pearl, franchising and growing up other medical professionals, getting them back in our building and doing what we've already done.
Watching people leave your building with their heads held high, there's no words to describe the feeling that it gives you. Like knowing that you can change a person's day from a haircut. 90% of the time, I would even say 99% of the time, like people come to you not for the talent you have, but for the way that you made them feel.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and I think that's a great lesson in life. You know what I mean? People remember how you make them feel.
All the time.
How they people
How you-
remember
How you felt
how
You had it
around
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, it's so true. So you want to, I think feelings are very healthy. You've got to feel all of the feelings, but when you're running a business, you don't need everybody being angry in your building. You need like there's a fine line. There's boundaries there.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that people that come into our building know that we prioritize their experience. Like I want to make sure that they're having a good time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
In your industry, what's the biggest myth that people have, or the biggest misconception people have about your industry, whether it be from other professionals or clients or what have you?
A lot of women will not get chemical services done to themselves while pregnant because their doctors might have told them not to. And a lot of times those doctors are like well on their way to retirement.
Yeah.
Like they're older than dirt.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case anymore. Products are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Chemicals are more refined now. Like they're
more friendly, more
Yeah.
bio friendly or whatever.
Yeah. So that's just not the case anymore. Like most women are very safe. It's very safe to get your hair done if you're pregnant. That's the only thing I can think of. Other myths, I don't know.
What's the most popular treatment that you give out for your clients? Is it pedicure? Is it
The most popular treatment,
is treatment the right word? Service.
Service.
There you go. What's
Yeah.
the most popular service?
I would have to run reports for this, but I feel
Right.
like lip blushing is pretty popular. Like the tattooing of the lips is pretty popular.
What was the name of it?
Lip blushing.
Blushing.
Yes.
And it's a lip tattoo.
Yes.
They tattooed the whole lip to where it looks like she has lipstick or chapstick on, but that's not her normal color.
My lips are tattooed.
Are they really?
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't wear makeup.
Wow.
It's all tattooed.
You're not wearing any makeup right now?
No.
So her she has tattooing up here,
On your eyebrows?
right here, and right here.
I see your eyebrows and your lips look like you're wearing a very mild shade of, and then,
It's just tattoo.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did it hurt?
I always tell everybody, not at all.
There was a wink.
There's a
Not
numbing
at all.
cream.
I mean, it's a tattoo.
So
Numbing cream.
there's
Yes.
a numbing agent. It's a cream. But our permanent cosmetic artist has a really good quality numbing cream. So the first pass, there's no numbing anything. They just
Why is that?
from what I understand is that when you have the cream on to begin with, you are pushing the numbing cream into the skin. So you're creating it's a needle going into your skin. So if you're going over the first pass, like what's going in there is pigment and cream.
Okay.
So you get the best results if you don't numb first.
Okay.
The first pass is not very painful. It's the second one when your skin's already kind of like
agitated.
Yeah. So the numbing cream, she has amazing numbing cream. It was a great experience.
So you just got to get past the first pass. The first pass,
yeah.
and you're good.
And it's not that bad. It's not too bad.
No winks on that one.
No. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Yeah. But pain is very subjective.
Yes, it is.
So there's also that.
Is Bella Donna a part of any kind of organizations? When you mentioned community, I mean, y'all just participate in whatever's going on, but are y'all a part of like any chambers of commerce or any type of?
We've talked about doing that, but that's something that we want to do, but we haven't done that yet. Like I would love to join Tri-County.
Sounds like y'all are pretty busy.
Yeah, we're pretty busy.
I mean, that's when
but we know everybody in Tri-County.
Yeah.
So, I think you had Kevin on the show.
Yeah. He does the political show.
So Kevin helped us with he was helping me design a website for some e-commerce stuff that I wanted to do that I never did. I invested in it and I never did anything with it. So we know him from that, but
that's hilarious. I had the same experience
with Kevin.
Yes,
yeah.
So my sign business, part of that, or my printing business, part of that was signs. I was doing a lot of real estate signage, right? And then it didn't take me long to realize that, I was like, I got this great idea. What I'll do is I'll make the sign, I'll print the sign, I'll store the sign, and then I will go install the sign whenever need be, right? And then so like I had Kevin, we went back and forth. We developed this really killer website, this service platform. It was very, very intuitive. It cost me quite a bit of money, and I sold that part of the business right before it was finished, so I never got to use it. So he was just like, I'm probably going to reuse this, Jason.
Right?
At least you sold that part of the business.
You're like, let me grab that and hold on.
Yeah. So
mine is just sitting there in like the, in the internet space.
One day.
Yeah.
So do y'all sell any products? Do y'all sell?
Mm-hmm, we do.
What kind of stuff do you sell?
Well, so we have this one, we have a service that we offer in the aesthetic side. Our esthetician does DMK enzyme therapy, which I think is amazing. I should talk more about enzyme therapy. It is the closest that you will get to like medical grade in a spa. So the products are very active. Every product has active ingredients in them. So the shelf life is not very long because it's meant to get the skin moving so you can have a better functioning skin. So like a lot of times when clients come to see us for skincare, it's because they have poor skin function. So our job is to help them have optimal skin function. And
skin function. That's interesting.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Your skin is the biggest organ on your body.
Yeah.
So the function of it's dependent on many factors, but we can help with like lymphatic drainage and the oxygenation of your blood, which promotes healthier skin turnover. So skin cell turnover. So that it's very sciencey, and I love it. I love it a lot. So it's a really cool product that we sell, DMK.
And it's a cream or something?
It's a product line.
Oh.
So there's creams, there's serums, there's all kinds of things.
Oils,
masks.
lotions.
One of the things that's frustrating for me whenever I hear of a product line is that I think that I have to have every product that it sells in order for it to be effective.
You do.
Well, with this one, there's so many options.
Well, when you're selling the products, I guess that makes sense.
Buy all of our
and
products.
that's just the thing. So we like to tell people when they come in for services with us that it's an investment.
Sure.
It's not like you're coming in and getting this done one time. Like we want to make sure that if we're putting you on this regimen, that it's going to work for you. And the only way that we can guarantee that it works for you is if you use the products.
So what type of continuing education do you do?
So I kind of, through that 15-year period being at Salons by JC, there were very few hair shows that I did attend, but I would do like local hair classes at the local vendor, RDA. Because I typically like to focus my education on the products that I use. So I don't want to take classes for anything.
Everything.
Yeah, anything outside of that. But once we expanded and opened this salon, I started taking more classes for everything because I felt like I can't offer a service that I don't know anything about.
Very nice. Motivation. What keeps you going?
My haters, just kidding.
If you
I'm not. I have 6 kids. I have a family to support.
Yeah.
I feel like one day my daughter will see me the same way I see my mom. You know, where like she made these sacrifices or that we didn't even realize were sacrifices.
Yeah.
You know? So that's...
Well, yeah, kids don't know.
They don't know. So that's the motivating factor is just to work hard to show our kids that, you know, you can do anything you put your mind to. Seriously, truly.
You really can.
You can.
So like I didn't believe that in myself until I had kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, it wasn't until, you know, my son was getting close to graduating high school.
Okay.
You know, and that, well, I would say when he was about a freshman, it was like when I started really kind of instilling into him. I'm like, you can do anything that you want to do. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
It's
you
true.
Do. You know, and there's a lot of different ways you can get from A to B. You know what I mean? I'm just internet age I didn't have when I was a kid. And, you know, you can do YouTube University. There's all the stuff you can do, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was just like, I was constantly preaching that to, you know, my youngest son. And then I guess when my niece went to college, she went to TLU. That's in Seguin, right? TLU. Yeah, it's that one. She went to one in Seguin. And so, I don't know, we were moving her into her dorm or something like that. Anyways, my son came with, and he was just like, he was kind of like for the first time seeing life outside of high school. And he was just like, wow, you know, I really can do whatever I want to do. I was just like,
oh,
all right, I don't have to preach that anymore.
That's amazing.
Let's start with getting your ass out of the house.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You can.
I want my kids to be with me forever.
Well, and so funny enough, you know, so my kids, both of them, they live at home, and they're the only ones that do. Anyways. Parting words of wisdom.
You have to do something that you love because otherwise it feels like work. I don't know if that's
easier to get from, you know, sun up to sundown like that.
I go to work every day looking forward to it.
My parting words would be if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to grow and you're faced with fear and obstacles, who you surround yourself with is very important.
Yes.
You don't want to be the smartest person in the room because there will be a lot of negative, you can't do that. You know, don't do that. And if you're hanging around negative people that don't have like mindsets that you're trying to accomplish, you're just going to stay in that mindset.
Negative mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I changed my answer to his answer.
No, you're absolutely right.
I had two.
Both of you are. Go ahead. What's the other one?
Facing fear differently. When you're wanting to grow and build, it was easy for me to tell myself, I can't do this. We shouldn't do this because of we don't have all the money to do that big dream. 4 feet at a time.
Is there anything that you wanted to is there anything that I didn't ask that you were prepared to come in here and talk about?
I don't think so. I feel like I wasn't prepared for some of the questions. I really should have done more homework.
She told me,
Homework? You did great. I didn't have a question you couldn't answer. What do you mean?
she told me about, us coming here. I've been really excited about it, but then this morning I forgot. And then I told her, you have a big gap in your schedule today. And she was like, yeah, because we're doing the radio podcast.
We've got something important today.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. She was like, awesome enough for you to forget. And I said, my bad.
That's exactly what I said. Awesome enough for you to forget.
It is very awesome.
I'm just mildly hurt then, Garrett. That's all right.
Sorry. It's all the kids I have to pick up and drop off.
Yeah.
I was distracted.
It was a big morning.
Yeah. No, I'm really grateful to participate in this. I was very excited about it. I've seen, a few of your episodes already.
I appreciate y'all coming down today. I really do. It was a pleasure having y'all. I'm so happy to hear you guys expanding on Bella Donna there, and it's in Garden Ridge or Bracken or
Well, it depends on who we're talking
Tri-County.
to.
Wild West.
It depends on who we're talking to. If the fancy folks, Garden Ridge. If you're Grumpy's people, it's Bracken.
Bracken.
If
It's
you're coming
Bracken.
from San Antonio, it's really close to 1604.
It's 2 miles north from Rolling Oaks Mall. So
What's your address?
18817 FM 2252.
How can people find you besides the address?
belladonnasa.com.
All of your social media?
That's the website, which is linked to our social medias.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
No?
They can also hear about it whenever I'm at Walmart.
Or Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Keep your eye out for Garrett. It sounds like you're quite the salesman. Do you get a commission on this, or do you just get to eat?
You know, just the satisfaction of coming into the salon and then seeing somebody that I tried to solicit.
Making his
and it
wife's
worked.
dreams come true.